So just here at the tree service, and when I pulled up, it didn't look too good because there's not much wood here. Usually the wood pile is out to the edge here, give or take some. But it's pretty empty, and what happens is a lot of the good wood gets taken. I don't think anybody else really comes here and picks any up, but what they do is they load up a bunch in a bin and they get rid of it. So a lot of this stuff just sits here and it doesn't get touched, and it gets picked through by me usually, and then, you know, I never really get anything from the back unless they really clear it out and there's stuff at the bottom. But as I pulled up, I started noticing a few more pieces than I thought I'd be able to get. So over here we got some pear, and this one I believe is box elder, or what we call Manitoba maple. This one is, I think that's silver maple. That's some softwood. We got some red oak. And also why I came here too, I got to pick up some wood somewhere else, but there's too much red oak, there's too much black locust. I got a bunch of white oak the other day, so you know me, I'm trying to diversify my species when I'm putting my wood in the crates. So of course when I get here, what's here? Black locust, white oak, and there's a bunch of red oak in here, and there's a bit of pear. And what else did I see? I think maybe, is this a piece? No, this is not a piece of cherry underneath. That's the same as the softwood here. But there's nothing really diverse in here. There might be some Siberian elm. I think that piece is there. The bark kind of looks like black locust, but it looks like a different color. That piece might be too. But there's also some silver maple. And, you know, I put a little bit of mediocre wood inside my loads. So I haven't had anything. I've just been using a lot of the walnut, which isn't, it's a little better than mediocre, but it's not, you know, as good as like red oak and sugar maple. So I've had a bunch of that. I see there's some apple in here, but I use the silver maple as a little bit of a filler, you know what I mean? Just that little bit of extra wood for a little bit of extra profit, right? Of course, not too much because it's not the greatest, it's just mediocre, you know? So let me set up the camera on the tripod, and then I'm gonna start getting loaded up. It's easy because I got to back the truck up here, and I don't have to do all the walking into the truck. I don't have to throw everything over the pile and then pick it up again. There's going to be a few pieces that I got to dig out of here, not very many. So this should be a quick pickup. I'm just looking around to see if there's anything else that I missed. I have a pretty good eye. I've been trained to have a good eye when looking for stuff. I mean, one thing is with the tree ID, but, you know, because I'm in the scrap business, you see I got some scrap metal here. I got used to looking way down the street to identify stuff. You know, I see stuff sitting on the side of the road, and you got to be able to identify it. And after seeing so many different things, you kind of tell what is what from far, you know what I mean? So let's get the camera on the tripod here. Let's do this. Let's see if there's anybody in the chat yet. Yeah, okay, so Timon's here. How you doing? Hello, Brent. And Half Cut Garage, Illinois. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in, guys. Yeah, it's not too sunny. I mean, the sun's out, but it's not on a bad angle where I can't see the chat here. I wish I had an iPod to do this. And my brand new tripod. Actually, let me show you my tripod. This is cheaper than the more expensive ones and only 20 bucks more than my other one. But this is a lot heavier. It's a lot stronger. So this is like a piece of outdoor equipment. My other one was just a cheap one, right? But I've been having a hard time to put on the mount for my camera here for my phone. It's got the little tab that you got to swing around to put the to screw the bracket on, and it's a little high, so even if you get it to flip around one side, it's catching underneath the thing. And I got it set up now, so I guess I'll start in this corner. I didn't point out there's some apple there. What's going on here? Okay, I just got to tilt the camera a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, okay, that's better. All right. So yeah, there's a piece of apple in here. I actually need more apple smoker wood. I have a lot of bags packed up. And they've been trickling out, one here, one there. I've got lots in my crate in Smoker City, ready to go. And ooh, this is rotten a little bit on the side. So it's always good to have lots of apple, because sometimes people, they come and take a lot of apple. And there's more walnut. Of course, I didn't need the walnut, but you know, I don't mind taking a piece or two. I'll take that branch log there too. And what's that other lighter colored branch log there? What is this? It's nice and straight. It's heavy, so it's good hardwood. I'm thinking it's apple. It looks like it, but usually apple branches don't grow this straight. Let me look on this side. Look at the cut end. Yeah, that is, I believe, apple. What I can do is just put a torch to it and smell it and see if it's actually apple. Huh. Doesn't matter how much you learn the wood. There's always wood that stumps you. Pun intended. Because I was looking at this piece of pear here. And the pear was tripping me out because it looked a little bit like Norway maple. But in a way it didn't. There's some black locust. You know what I say about black locust? Black locust matters. Got another coin of black locust here. This is a big piece of Norway maple. There's a little bit in the pile, I think. Yeah, there's a couple pieces of Norway in there. I consider Norway to be equivalent of black walnut. It seems kind of dense, but it doesn't seem like it's the best. It's not quite like sugar maple, but sugar maple just has a different density. You'd think sugar maple, you know, even though it's really good wood, with the density factor on it, you would think that it might have more BTUs. It just feels more solid, but it doesn't. But the sugar maple is just a great wood to have because it splits easy and it dries quickly. It takes about half the time as oak, and you get the same amount of BTUs, which is 24 million BTUs per cord. There's another piece of oak. I'll save this for my cutoff bags. Actually, I just had a guy call me about cutoffs. There's another log. I'll pull this out. Do you see when I get these ones with the cable? I'll just cut the cable with the grinder back at the shop, and then I'll keep these pieces for myself. This one I can maybe even twist out with a tool. But I'll keep those cutoffs. Anything that comes with the metal in it, I'll just burn it in my own wood stove. Then I get a little bit of scrap metal. Let's get these big pieces of silver maple on, then we'll turn the camera off. So I thought I was going to set up my wireless mic today. Because the one I actually bought off of eBay a while ago, I never got it to work. And also with these new cell phones, ooh, I see a piece of cherry in there. That's what I need too. With these new cell phones, they don't have the little regular micro jack. So you can't plug them in. Same with the iPhone, apparently they're like that too. So then what they said was, I talked to some guys at a tech store, trying to hold the camera and this piece of log upright. Let me tilt to the back a little bit too. So I spoke to them and they said the USB-C thing that I have to charge my phone, I can just plug the I can get an adapter that I can plug in the wireless mic to. So I just did a clear out of a church and they had all kinds of equipment that they're getting rid of. And what happened, it was my neighbor Keith, he told me about the job and he said there's a bunch of stuff that we'll be able to sell. I could bring the stuff from my shop and I could just put this stuff for sale and then we split the money, you know? So we got all kinds of tools, crazy tools. There's like a 2-inch or a 1/2 inch, no, 3/4 inch up to 2-inch pipe threader tool, electric one, like a handheld one. And there's not even a name brand on it. It's weird, but it's brand new in the box. There's a giant nail gun. I'm gonna use a tailgate for this one. I can put it in by the summer. And there was all this electrical, like sound and audio video equipment. So I actually got a couple of wireless mics in there. And I saw one of the common brands of a microphone that you can use for your camera. Because I want a better microphone. And I want the media mod, which I heard is really good for the GoPro. It's good for doing live and stuff too, and running your wireless mic. There's no port on the GoPro for the wireless mic, right? So I'm starting to warm up already, but you get that cherry in here actually. And what's that underneath? Is that a piece of sugar maple? Right in the bottom there? It might be. So anyways, I got all this wireless mic stuff. Some of this stuff was old, so I just scrapped it. I had like the big, like the giant, and it had the giant audio jack, right? So those are too old school. Get rid of that, you know? But then I found this really small set, and I went and I tested it out. I went to this camera shop that I've been dealing with this guy, where I got this tripod actually. Yeah, a piece of cherry. And we tested it out, and that's why I know that first one, the one I bought first, doesn't work. Because we tested it out, and then we tested out the second one, it was like no problem, right? So what is this here? And that's a cutoff too. That's another piece. Ooh. Oh, black locust. Yeah, I'll take that. Was it stuck in the fence here? Oh. Okay. This one's cut all funny, and then it's got a cut right in the middle of it. There's not going to be much firewood out of this one. But I'll take it, I'll make some firewood. Whatever. So I came to set up the wireless mic today. I was ready to go. I was like, yeah guys, look what I got. It's going to be wireless mic time for the first time. And then I realized that I put it in the old case for the my old wireless mic. And I actually left it at home because I thought, oh yeah, I don't need the case, but I forgot that I put that setup inside there. So I just got to put it in my camera bag. Yeah, that one's the pair. There's another black locust cut off here. And is there anything down there? No. I'm starting to build up my boiler wood pile again because I have the firewood load, the 6 cords in the 40-yard bin. So that means the boiler wood is getting stacked on the ground. What's this? Another piece of that pear? Yes, it is. I don't like when too much boiler wood is on the ground because then you got to load it in the bin after. And I just spoke to the customer. Well, I've been speaking to him. Here's the white oak. I've been speaking to him about delivering the bin, and it's been hard to get a driver because my driver Larry doesn't have his license anymore. He's getting older and he's not as competent as he used to be. So apparently when he went for the test, he didn't put on a seatbelt for one thing. And then he was going like 40 kilometers an hour and the speed limit's 50. And they failed him, right? And I think some paperwork is here or whatever. So this whole year he hasn't been able to work, right? So there's another guy I called, and you guys have seen him in the video. There's some Norway maple. You guys have seen him in the video when we went up to the farm. and one of my early videos, and we dumped that load. So I called him the other day, and he said that his truck burned down. It's on fire. And then he was complaining about the company GFL, the big company. He said they're crooks and they're stealing all the business. So he's out of commission. And then the guy who delivered my last load, that video is going to be coming up in a while. I'm so behind on editing, guys, like 2 months. But anyways, I got that load of boiler wood delivered. And the guy, he's just a driver. He gave me a price, and then he stuck with the price. And there's some red oak. And it was $500, and it should have been a little more. The other place is further. So then he realized his mistake, and he said, okay, well, the price for, what's that, Siberian elm? Yeah, I guess I'll take some of that. And what's this? Is this black locust? Yeah, it's funny. See, both of these look the same. Actually, no. Yeah, that is black locust. Is this one too then? Can't tell. It's not very yellow anymore. But either way, I'm going to take these. I think it is black locust. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, then the other place is about an hour and 15 minutes. And he said it's going to be $1,000. So it's like, that's too much money, you know what I mean? I'd actually have to take out of the wood money. The customer just pays the delivery. And if I pay that much for delivery, then that's going to be taking out of my profit on the bin, right? So I spoke to another guy. I got lucky. I was just driving down the street, and I see roll-offs all the time, guys. There's so many roll-off companies that are doing the junk removal here. It's ridiculous. So I was heading into the shop. I pulled up beside a roll-off, and then I said, you want to do a load for me, right? So the guy says, yeah. Now, the problem is my customer, I think he told me some information that he was going away and going for foot surgery a little early so that I could get the bin out to him early, right? Because I've been having a problem getting his order together. And I didn't do much wood to fill that bin, and he ordered it last year, actually. But if you see when that video when I moved to the new Woodyard and I dumped that load of wood, that was like 1.5 cords maybe at most, maybe a full cord and a face cord. That's all I had to deliver for a 6-cord load. And then I went to do a video where I filled the whole bin in one shot. Since I had sold that boiler load, I had the firewood on the bin or the firewood load on the ground. They're supposed to send out to him. What is that one anyway? It looks like red oak, kind of, whatever. It looks like good stuff. Yeah, so I went to film myself loading that bin in one shot to do the firewood challenge video again. And I loaded it up, and it was probably only about 4.5 cords. So I'm still filling that bin, and then the guy, he actually had a vacation. He was off for a week, and then he was going away, and then he had his foot surgery. I gotta put my phone on no disturb, because if it rings, it's gonna shut off here. And let me look at the chat. Okay, so yeah, let me check the chat. Oh, Pete's in here. Yeah, come by, man. I'll give you a call later on. I'm actually heading up there soon after this when I dump this load, so I'll give you a shout when I'm done here. Who else is in here? Living the Dream is in here. And Brent says, nice pod. Yeah, it is good for $100, you know what I mean? Are you putting up some ATV firewood videos? Nice, I'll check it out, man. Joe PA says, beautiful weather down here across the border. Yeah, it's nice here. It's not exactly warm, but it's a really nice day. Okay, so anyways, back to the story here, back to the wood pickup. I see some more silver maple in there. I'll grab that piece. But anyways, I spoke to the owner of, or the guy with the property who wants the firewood. he actually lives on a river that has a stream that you can fish the salmon and trout. He doesn't have any deep pools on his property, but there's a couple spots where the fish will hold in like shallower water, and I can go up there and fish if I want. But anyways, so he was trying to get this order in so that he could get it stacked before everything happens, you know what I mean? And he's going for surgery on his foot, so he doesn't want to have to stack wood while he's got foot surgery, the aftermath of it anyway, you know what I mean? So he's on vacation. The guy actually told me, the guy who's going to deliver the bin or deliver the order for me, he said that he could have done it last Saturday. And is that a piece of oak in there? They said he was going to do it last Saturday, and he said at like 3 o'clock, but I spoke to the customer and he said he was getting on a plane at like 8 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that, right? So it was a no-go. I see another piece of red oak here. I might have to move a few pieces, more than I want to get it, but maybe I'll find some other stuff. I think I see another piece of red oak in there. I don't like to scatter the wood all over the place here too, guys. I like to keep it tidy for them, you know what I mean? And I see, is that another piece of silver maple in there? I think so. This oak's a little dry. Let's go for that silver maple. So I looked in the bin 2 nights ago. I was actually in the yard pretty late, and I got a lot done. I had been cutting into the pile of walnut, and then there's a big load of red oak in the pile, and there's a lot of boiler wood, and I didn't want to process through all that boiler wood. And then I had a bunch of the like the nice 16 and 18 inch in front, so I had gone and I guess this is a collective of like 2 or 3 nights in there. No, I think only 2 nights. But I cut up all the walnut in the back. Then I did a little bit of the boiler wood, and then all the 16 inch and the 18 inch in the front I cleaned up with the log splitter. And I was like, okay, it's getting late and I have a big mess to clean up, so I thought, well, I have to move everything. But I was just in one of those zones where, one of those moods where I just wanted to keep going and get everything done, you know what I mean? It's always better to get everything cleaned up for when the next load comes in. What's this? Oh, the trucks are starting to come back now. There's only a couple trucks out today. Most of the trucks are here. But yeah, so I just went and I cleaned up everything. I cleaned up all the sawdust and all the big pieces of red oak. I moved them into the back. So the whole pile is clean there. What's this? Another black locust? Yeah, it looks like it. It's going to be more boiler wood too. Okay, let's get this one silver maple and then pull this red oak out. And we've got a little bit of a hazard here with this piece being held in place by this branch, so I can't really move too much here, and then it's holding on to this piece here. Well, I'll get this black locust one out. Let me adjust the camera angle here a bit. Yeah, and I see another piece of black locust in there. Here's Siberian elm. Is there anything that I should pull out here so that I could drop this big one? I don't think so. No. Okay. So the big one's coming down. I'll get those 2 or 3 pieces that are in here. There's another piece of black locust up there. So I'll pull that down. And then I'm going to switch sides and go over to my left side here. So last night when I looked into the bin, I probably filled like half of what was there. So I probably did 3/4 of a cord in the last couple days. Look at that, it fell down on me. It didn't catch my foot or anything, it just scraped the side of me. So, didn't get hit by it. Yeah, that's another piece of silver maple. That black locust in there is pretty big too. What's going on, man? How you doing? Yeah, this is my secret spot. That's Al, the mechanic, he works near the his shop is near the shop. Actually, that one in there is not even black locust, it's Siberian elm. And it's a lot longer than I thought, so I'm not going to bother with that one. Let's just get these couple pieces in, switch sides. Maybe I should grab that other piece of black locust. I'm actually not really looking for boiler wood right now. Of course, it's nice to always get as much as you can. But I won't be selling a boiler load till next summer. And I'm trying to fill my crates, guys, because I haven't put aside much wood this year. I calculated, I think I only have 3 cords put away for next year. I did sell a little bit of wood that I had in the yard. There's some stuff that came in that was dry. I sold that too. Not very much, but this year I wasn't doing wood. If I don't do a lot of wood in the spring, then I'm not going to have much for the year after. There's a Siberian elm. It's lost some moisture. There's a piece of red oak up there. And anything down here. There's another piece of silver maple. Maybe I'll grab that. I just remembered there's a piece of Norway maple up there. Let me go take a look up there. Yeah, I think I'll take that one. Nice and straight. I'm looking at this one that's cut short with the funny color to it. It's got like an orangish brown color. I'm wondering what it is. I'm not gonna mess with it. It seems pretty light. What I do like about the Norway maple is it grows nice and straight a lot of times. You see a bunch of trees that they have all the curves and everything, but that stuff splits really easy too. Just like sugar maple, it just, once a wedge goes in it just pops right open. It doesn't have to dig right in and then split it halfway through or whatever, all the way through. So I use some wood as like filler wood basically, right? The ones that are mediocre. But even I've used the term before with filler wood, with ash, and yeah, ash is really good, but I mean filler as in, I used to get so much of it that I filled up my crates easily when I put, you know, one species in there and then I wanted to put other species. I could start all kinds of crates with ash. It's a really good wood to have. And it's like a good starter for each crate, you know what I mean? I always had so much of it, so you can always just spread it around, and you know you have something that's really good in there that is a good start, right? I'm gonna have to climb up here. Let me just check the pile one more time, see if there's anything good in here. It really doesn't look like it, guys. Like I said, when the pile's picked clean like this, and they go and throw everything inside the bin and get it out of here, it's just all this crap left behind, you know what I mean? So what's this, more box elder, or what we call, yeah, that's box elder, and in Canada we call it Manitoba maple, and it's also known as maple ash because it looks like ash a little bit, even with the leaves. Yeah, with the leaves and the bark, it actually looks like ash kind of, so that's why they call it maple ash. But why they call it box elder is because when storage crates, you know, before Tupperware and everything and plastic, right, they used to make like crates and boxes for everything, and that's what they used to use. I forgot, there's one piece of black locust up there. Let me grab that. Okay. What's going on?
Just getting out of your way.
Yeah, I'm just loading up here. I'll be gone in a minute too.
I'm trying to get out of your way so you can get out of here.
Yeah, all right. Take a look at the chat for a minute. We got 11 people in here. 9 thumbs up. Click that like button, guys. Who's that? DK? How's firewood sales in Toronto? It's better than last year. We were more locked down than pretty much everywhere in the world except Australia and New Zealand. So things were really bad here for a long time, guys. And I was watching YouTube, you know, and everybody doing stuff in the States, and everything was like open. People were having weddings and gatherings, and the businesses were open and stuff like that, right? It was really bad last year, man. And even I think last year the lockdown overall in a way was worse because of because we were more locked down in 2021 than 22, guys. So 2021, just like everybody, in March we were locked down. And oh, Joseph Granson here. How you doing, man? Um, yeah. Anyway, so we were locked down like just like everybody else in March 2020, and then they opened it up on July 1st, which is our Canada Day weekend. And it was like last minute. And I joked around that the premier of the province of Ontario, he only opened it up so he could go to his cottage and garberate a bunch of cheeseburgers for the long weekend without anybody saying anything about it, right? But he was caught going up there, and he said, I don't know, what did he say? Something about the power was off or something, and that's why he was able to go up there. But yeah, right. You know what I mean? So then we were out of lockdown, and it was still, there was some lockdown. It was like stages, so it wasn't full out of lockdown. And then in November 2020, they locked it down again. And so that's like right before Christmas, right? So when's all the money get spent, you know, or much of the money in the year, it's in the winter, right? During Christmas or just before Christmas. So, and already when they locked it down in March, that's like so much spring business already, right? So see here, because there's so much winter. I mean, most of you guys, you experience the winter, right? But, you know, our winter is harder here in Canada. And in Toronto's actually south of the latitudes of a lot of places in the States, right? So where I am, certain states, they're actually north of me, right? Like Dan at Back 40, he's in Wisconsin. He's higher up than me. A bunch of those guys out there, you know, it's more north there, right? And some of the places, they have kind of the same weather. Some of the places are a little colder, right? But anyways, when it opens up, is that a spider there? Yeah, a spider's trying to climb up into my tailgate. I'm going to bring up this load of wood on the tailgate here, and then I'm going to start throwing these pieces of wood in. But anyways, so then the spring came around of 2021, and it was locked down again until the summer. So we were locked down from like November of 2020 until, again, the summer. I can't remember exactly when. Might have been into July, it might have been into May, I can't remember, but definitely around the end of summer or the beginning of summer, right? Or late spring, something like that. And they locked it down again, right? And then it opened up, and it was just, last year was a really hard year, man. 2020 was my best year. It was not good because it was related to anything about COVID. I just started getting good business. I actually had good business from one customer alone, and that covered a lot of my bases, right? How's that? Yeah, okay. Like that, okay. Yeah, all right. So yeah, 2020 was my best year ever, but even going right up into Christmas of 2020, it was good. My best year in 15 years of self-employment. And then last year was a struggle, man. It was just slow throughout the whole year. And then obviously because of the gas prices now and people not wanting to go to work and all these different factors, this year hasn't been good. So now my firewood sales this year, which were much better than last year, because last year the sales, they just trickled out. I didn't have much wood overall. I think I had maybe about the same wood as last year. Maybe even I had a little bit less last year. But I could just tell the difference where the phone was not ringing, guys. Just the calls trickled in, that's it, man. And while the sales were spread out, the problem is when people start wanting wood in December and January, and it's all cold and it's all snowy, you know what I mean? It'd be nice if I could sell all the wood by the end of November, right? And then I could still be restocking at that point. and filling my crates as much as I can, because in the winter I just shut it down basically. I can't split in the winter anymore. I've never liked the cold. I can dress for the cold, but I've always been susceptible to the cold weather. And one year I nearly got frostbite, guys. I thought something bad was going to happen because I just started shaking. And I had to take out a little heater and put my hand over it. And my hand was just shaking. It was something like, it's not like, okay, well, this just hurts and whatever. It was like something bad was going to happen, and I was in a totally different world at that point. So it's nice to get all the wood split as much as you can into the winter. As when it's one thing to be cold, if it's around 0 degrees, it's okay, I can be out then. But if it's colder than that, it's just, even if you can maintain it, the work pace is just so slow. Because you gotta go and warm up inside the truck for a bit. Your gloves get wet, so you need to cycle through a bunch of gloves. And you gotta have the truck running, so that's costing you money. Yeah, this is a piece of oak, like I thought. Okay. And then you go through like 3 pairs of gloves, and the next thing you know, they're all wet and they're not drying fast enough, right? And the biggest problem is when the wood's covered in snow and you start producing body heat, which goes through your extremities, so it's going through your hands, and your hands get wet, and then it just helps melt the snow, right? So then your hands are wet from all the wood, and then of course that's the worst possible scenario when you're splitting wood, right? Or sorry, not when you're splitting wood, when you're doing anything. When your clothing gets wet and it's exposed to the cold, right? So right now I'm just trying to split as much wood as I can, and I was actually hoping to get a lot of straight wood in here to put in my crates. Then even this piece of Norway maple, it looked pretty straight from one side, but then you can see that there's a big curve in it. You'll see it in a second here. Yeah, I'm a little anal with my firewood. You know, I like to put the nice straight stuff in the crates, but what I've been doing over the years too is just throwing a lot of wood loose in the crates and keeping the stuff that's not so straight, because the stuff that's not so straight, I just put it in the big 40-yard bin. I sell it at a discount to the farmers, green wood, and they buy it, right? But I'm trying to save more of that because that's more profitable for me if I save all that wood, right? But another big problem that I've had this year is not selling the smoker wood, and the smoker wood's double the money. Like if I sell smoker wood, I sell it 20 bucks a bag, and normally I would sell firewood for $10 a bag here in the city of Toronto. So that price in the US, that's basically $8 a bag versus $16 a bag US. So I'm not selling much of that, then I'm not making much profit off of the firewood, you know what I mean? But one good thing is I got my I got the beast splitter in action, and that helps clean up a lot of wood really quickly. That night I stayed late 2 nights ago. Actually, I'll tell you another story about that. I actually filmed what happened after that. But yeah, I went and I cleaned up all that wood. I split a whole bunch of wood with the beast, and I probably did about 3 wheelbarrows in about maybe 25 minutes, right? So that machine is helping. But anyways, when I left the Woodyard that night, that was like 3:45. So I went to the A&W, is like a Canadian burger joint here, right? And there's one connected to the gas station, so I went to go through the drive-thru to get something to eat. So as I pull up there, I see cop cars and I see OPP, right? And OPP is like the provincial police, and they do the highways, right? And then they had the metro police, like the city cops, and there was a bunch of them there. So I saw, and there's a Dodge Ram, and what he did was, right in front of the gas station doors, he pulled up like across in front of the doors, and you could see that one of the wheels was missing, right? So I went through the drive-through, and then I started talking to the guy inside, and I figured, you know, he might have heard something, he might know a little bit, right? But he kind of knew the whole story. So he said what happened was the guy pulled in there with the wheel missing, and he came inside and he asked the gas station attendant if he could park the truck there for a while, and they said he was high or something, right? When I filmed the video part, I said he was or the I said that the guy was tweaking, right? But I don't know. I didn't see him. He's probably drunk, and we're like in the suburbs here. There's not really like meth heads and coke heads that much, you know what I mean? They kind of stick to, like, you know, those small areas where they have like the low income, but it's not a universal thing, right? There's not too much hard drug use like all over the suburbs here, except those pockets of the low income areas, right? There, yeah, might be a little trouble up in that area somewhat, but it's a nice neighborhood. There's the university and everything, right? So here's kind of mixed bag, you know what I mean? But anyway, so who knows? Maybe the guy was drunk. I don't know, but looks like he had a couple of friends with him. By the time I came out of the drive-through, the cops had him up against the car, and I guess we're gonna go put him in the car after, right? But yeah, that was crazy, man. You know, it's you think like people wouldn't do stuff like that, but they do, right? It's like if you maybe it was a hit and run. I don't know. But why would you keep driving? If you didn't hit a car, then why don't you just stop there and then get towed? Unless, I don't know, maybe he knew he was high, so maybe he knew he was going to get in trouble and he's trying to get out of the scene for that, right? So there's probably something like that, you know what I mean? And, you know, any other reasons? Well, I don't know, maybe he didn't have insurance or something. I don't know. But that was pretty crazy to see. You know, you hear about those things and you see all the videos on YouTube, but one day you just see it yourself, right? So one more scan through the pile. Am I seeing another piece of oak up there? No, I think that's Siberian elm. Let me just go climb up there. I'm almost done here anyway. Oh, there's another piece of elm over here. How you doing? Yeah, another piece of oh no, is this black locust? Because look at that bark. Yeah, that's black locust. From the other angle, it really looked like a piece of elm. Okay. All right, let's take a look up here. And this one that I said that was orangish brown, well, I still can't tell. I was just gonna say that it might be black locust because there's some of that stuff kicking around here. But this is starting to look pinkish now, and the black locust never looks pinkish. Okay, this is a piece of oak. That's a piece of silver maple. It's nice and straight, so I'm taking it, and I think I see a piece of cherry in here. I didn't scan the whole top of the pile here. Okay, and this piece of cherry is relatively dry. It's ready for the smoker. Split it open, week and a half, 2 weeks, it's dry. A little bit of rot on this oak, and I guess this must be white oak because there was some in here earlier on. So after this I head to the Woodyard, obviously, and there's a guy coming for some totes. He came on the weekend and he wanted 12, and I get the big ones, not the ones like in the yard, guys. I get the big totes where people want them, you know. So he told me he wanted to come pick up 12, and he's coming from Smith Falls, which is like 4.5 hours. He came all the way down here. He left at 4:30 in the morning, and he said he's coming through a snowstorm. The cars were coming off the road like crazy. He said he saw a truck hit 3 cars. And when I spoke to him when he was about an hour away, he said it was freezing rain. So when he pulled up, he had his truck wasn't very big. He had like a Ford, like one of the really short cabs, whatever, right? You know, when the cab's only like this wide on the truck, right? And he had like, I don't know, probably not even a 20-foot box, like an 18-foot box. And he had 2 engines in there, and the truck's not very tall either. You can't, those totes, that's like, they're like here. So yeah, to stack one on top of the other, it's like no way, he's not fitting them. He's lucky he can't fit any sideways on the truck either, right? Or sorry, sideways on top of the other ones, right? Plus he's got the 2 engines in there. So for me, I have 12 on the truck, and it's better for me if I get rid of 6 totes at one time or 12 totes at one time if they're on the truck, right? Because if there's 6 in there and I got rid of 6, then say I have any more, if I have more than 6, I have to actually strap them to the top of the truck in a different way. I have to rearrange them from how I picked them up. So I was like, okay, then we got 5 in the truck, and we might have to put 1 tote behind or between the engines, over top the engines in the back, and then we can get the other 5 in there, right? And we could actually, his truck's wider than mine, so we fit 3 totes down one side, or no, sorry, 2 totes long ways, and then we fit the other ones long ways too. But then I was like, okay, no, I think he has enough room where he could turn the other ones and put them in sideways, and he just had enough room to put them in sideways. So instead of him taking the 5, he took the 6. So he's gonna come back because he's doing all this business. The guy, he does racing fuels, and he said that the people buying his fuels, they're winning the races all the time, right? So we just got a big contract with Downsview airport down there or whatever, and then some other guys in Coburg or something. So he's been back and forth, and he was supposed to be here around lunch today, but he said he got held up for a while. So I'm still waiting for him to come. He's still out east heading down this way. He actually came from northeast, right? Bad sunlight here, but yeah, so he's about an hour and change east. He's got 1 stop to go, and then he's gonna come meet me up at the Woodyard. I gotta dump this wood, and I gotta put a cord of wood on the truck, a full cord, because somebody right beside the shop wants some wood. So I'm gonna bring it back there, and then I'm gonna get the Tahoe, and then I'm gonna go back there and I'm gonna split some wood. I'm gonna start cutting into this and go through it. This shouldn't take me long, all this stuff here, and then all that boiler wood that's there. And then if I get through a lot of that, I'm just gonna noodle it. And my splitter's actually leaking too, the Spico, the single wedge, right? I gotta bring that in, so maybe I'll put that on the truck. Actually, I won't have room if I put the full cord. But oh yeah, I gotta get this 1 piece of white oak. Yeah, so I gotta bring that splitter in, and my other Spico single wedge, that is in the shop, and that's leaking. It has a little flange where the hose comes off of the splitter, like the suction hose that pulls the fluid from the tank. It's leaking around the flange, so I think they might have to drain the fluid. Actually, last time this year I was doing videos about repair on that hose, and I tried to seal it up, but the seal didn't work, so it's leaking again. I got a bunch of noodles from the chainsaw on the ground to absorb the oil, and I gotta bring it in. I gotta get that fixed because people are calling me for splitting jobs, and I haven't been doing them. I'm not too keen on doing those jobs, right? But I gotta get the splitters repaired anyway. Not both of them are leaking, and the other one's leaking really bad at the valve. What I might do for now too is just put a hose clamp around it, and it's an oval shape, so maybe if I get some type of rubber and I could put it around and I could just tighten down the clamp and it won't leak for now, and I could still use it for a bit, right? But for now, some of this wood will go in the beast, some of it won't. You know, some of these smaller boiler pieces, they'll split easy, so I can put them in the Spico. And it's when you get those big curvy gnarly pieces, you can't use the single wedge with that. It just forces the wood off the plate. The wood can't stay in the plate on the plate unless it sits flat, right? So you get all these curved pieces that just won't sit properly and it won't split with them. So I'm gonna finish up here. Let's see if I have access here. Let's get the camera on. Let's show you guys what's going on over here. And that's Al the mechanic in the lumberjack jacket. He's over by the shop, and he services all the trees over here. And there's a big pile of chips, and they have their shop inside here where they do all their maintenance for all their equipment. Central Tree Care. So, all right, this concludes the video, guys. So we'll see you next time at the Woodyard. And what video do I have coming up? I can't even remember. I was going through all my videos. I have probably like 40 videos that I got to put out there, guys. So I've been trying to catch up. I put too much time into my videos, but I enjoy doing it. So at least I'll have something to trickle through the winter when I don't have anything to do, right? But right now I'm doing for the 21st, and today's the September 21st, my next video. And today is November 22nd. So yeah, I'm like 2 months behind, guys. And it's hard to catch up, man. Sometimes you get little filler material in like this. Like I was supposed to have a video this morning, and I didn't feel like editing last night because I was burnt out from the day before when I was at the yard for like 9 hours or something, right? And anyways, I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna keep up on the editing, keep trying to make the fun videos for you guys. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and all that good stuff. Let me check the chat before we go. Say my goodbyes. See if I missed anything. No, that's pretty much it. Bad internet for Joseph. Yeah, take care, man. We'll talk soon, bro. See you guys. Maybe one day I'll figure out how to end the stream, you know? Okay, now I know how to do it. All right, see you guys.